How to shift your identity. I've created a simple system. Anybody should be able to understand this, and you should be able to apply it to your own life and actually implement real change. But like I say, first step is identity. Let's get straight into it. So you have three rules and a golden rule, which we'll get to at the end. But the three rules are: number one, you have to be completely honest with yourself. If you have an inflated ego and you can't accept accountability or responsibility, you're not going to change. That's the reality. You have to be willing to sit down with your bullshit, write it down, pen to paper, and understand where you're going wrong in life, who you're hanging around with, who isn't good for you, your habits, your strengths, your weaknesses, etc. If you can't be honest with yourself, you may as well end this video now. Number two, have a willingness to change. You need to have an actual desire to change. Like I said already, there's many people out there who like the idea of change, but they don't actually want to change, because change is hard. It takes a lot of suffering, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of sacrifice. If you're not willing to go through the hardship, you're never going to change. So you have to have that willingness, that drive that actually pushes you to change. Number three, you have to be prepared to struggle. Like I previously just said, it's not easy. There's a lot of hardship involved. You have to imagine that, say you've been a certain way for so many years, you've smoked weed or taken drugs for 5 to 10 years, you have to imagine you're completely erasing that behavior now and you're changing to someone else. Your brain's going to start freaking out. It's not used to doing this. And that is where you're going to crumble. So you have to be willing to actually go through the hardship and the struggle. And again, if you're not willing to do these three things, these three rules, then to be quite honest with you, you're not going to change. So you have to be able to promise yourself that you're going to do these three things. So imagine a scenario. You have person A, who is who you are now. Then you have person B, and this is the person you desire to be. Person A, he overthinks, drinks too much coffee, has a soft body, feels weak, is sick of not sticking to their words, has bad vices or habits, doesn't have any emotional regulation, knows they can do better, feels stuck in life. Then you have person B, who is the complete opposite. Has a clear mind, doesn't consume coffee, and by the way, side note, if you are someone who has a very active mind, and I am personally, coffee is certainly something which will affect that quite dramatically. So if you do struggle with overthinking or brain fog or anything like this, I would seriously consider looking at your relationship with caffeine and cutting it out. I would say for at least a month or two, go through the withdrawals and then make an analysis based upon that. They train 4 times a week. They set daily promises to themselves. They remove vices for healthier habits. They control their emotions and stress levels. They're proud of themselves and they have a clear vision. So what actually separates person A from person B? It's quite simple, to be honest with you. Daily execution, aligning their own habits and seeing themselves as this person. So essentially, you have to have a system, a daily system, which you execute on a daily, of course, and habits which align with that person who you want to become. As well as that, you need to be able to mentally see yourself as this person before you have become this person. This is quite a deep topic, which I'm not going to get into on this video. I'll touch on it a little bit, but I'll do a separate video on this in the series. So person B, this is who you want to become. They have non-negotiable daily habits, as I previously just said. 0 caffeine. They train 1 hour a day. Daily meditation or breath work. Elimination of a vice, 1 at a time as well. So if you're someone, for example, I used to smoke weed and I used to smoke cigarettes as well. But I quit weed and then I quit cigarettes. So I've been clean from weed for about 4.5 years now. And about 2 years in, I then decided to quit cigarettes. People who I knew who quit both at the same time, they went back to weed and then they didn't really get any results. You have to be able to do one thing at a time. My point being is you don't want to go from 0 to 100. you're already implementing a lot of change in the beginning. So removing a vice, if you have multiple vices, is not recommended in my opinion. One at a time, get some consistency, then remove the other. Remove the most destructive one first. So as a result of these non-negotiable habits being executed daily, this person will set daily promises to themselves, control their emotions and stress levels, they're proud of themselves, and they have a clear vision. So everything that is person B, you become through your non-negotiable daily habits. As I previously just said, you need to see yourself as this person through mindset visualizations. Again, I'm not going to get into that right now because this topic is worthy of a whole video. So I would recommend watching the video. I will link down below in this series, which talks about mental movies, mental rehearsals, psychocybernetics, and visualization techniques. So the golden rule. What is the golden rule? The golden rule is you must change right now, in this moment, while I'm talking. Right fucking now. Not Monday, not next week, right now. And the reason for that is because if you tell yourself, okay, today is Saturday. Say on Monday, I'm going to change. I'm going to stop doing X, Y, and Z. You are still enforcing that belief system into your subconscious mind. You are still attaching to that identity. This is why you see people who have New Year's resolutions. They, all the way up until January the 1st, they drink alcohol, they have shitty habits, they're overweight, whatever. Like they have shit lives. Then they say, January the 1st, this is the day that I change everything. Then January the 1st comes. They have a little bit of consistency. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 if they're lucky, and then they start to fall off. The reason for that is because they're still trained in their mind that they are this person. You need to say, right fucking now, I am not going to be this person who I've been so far. That is the only way you're going to change. And believe me, from experience, I've had many vices, I've had many addictions, and from my own personal experience, whenever I've said, I'm going to stop on Monday or after my birthday or whatever, I'll always go back to it. And the only time that I've actually succeeded is when I've actually been in the moment and I've said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Cannabis, cigarettes, sugar, all these things I actually decided in that moment, I'm not going to do this anymore. And when I decided in that moment, there and then, I'm going to change, I changed. This is the most important rule. Remember the 3 rules at the beginning and remember the golden rule. If you can't implement these 4 rules, then this whole system is pointless. So, in a nutshell, you need to be able to align your habits with your day. And as a result, you will become the person who you are destined to become. If you need help with this, with accountability, with creating the actual system and the daily habits, check out my description. My email is in there, or my coaching application is in there. This is exactly what I help people do. Follow the system which helped me change. Thanks for watching.